Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the Nashville Metropolitan Council. And of course, we're fortunate to have with us to talk about the Nashville Metropolitan Council and indeed give us an update in reference to what is going on in the Nashville Metropolitan Council. The councilperson from District 17, Councilperson Sandra Moore, and of course, Councilperson Moore, let me welcome you to the show this morning.
Thank you. I want to say thank you, Dr. Haney, for inviting me this morning to share a little bit about my background, community experience, and why I chose the political field. So thank you for that.
Very good. And of course, I think that's exactly what we'd like to try to do this morning, Councilperson Moore, because oftentimes we've had persons to come in, and what we really like to have them to do is to give us an update in terms of what is going on in the Metropolitan Council this morning. But now, before we get into that update, Councilperson Moore, let's have you to talk about your background, your education, and some of the things that, in a real sense, motivated you to become involved in the Nashville Metropolitan Council, and then we'll talk about an update in reference to what is going on in that particular body now.
Well, my background, basically I was raised here in Nashville, Tennessee. You know, both of my parents are deceased, and I'm proud to say that I have 6 brothers and 4 other sisters, so it's 11 of us in all. And so, you know, with that big of a family, and they all have ventured out into different arenas in their lives, and they have motivated me to become what I am today. My background, I went to public schools, I went to Fisk University, and I'm going to tell this story because the reason why I went to Fisk University was because of my brothers. And they left a legacy there. Going to Fisk was such an experience for me, you know, overwhelming experience, but I learned a lot while I was there. And then from there, I took some licensure courses to teach in metro schools. So I taught physical education as well. And then went back to school and got my master's at Argosy University in counseling. So basically, that's a little bit about my background. I live in my parents' old home and enjoy, you know, my neighbors and just, you know, basically, you know, been living here most of my life.
And you also represent the 17th District of the Metropolitan Council. Why don't you tell our audience, as well as myself, something about the Metropolitan Council in terms of the makeup and where you and your district fit within that makeup?
Well, I'm going to give you a little bit more information on what led me to the Metropolitan Council, and that was basically with my family. You know, it took a whole year. And from that year, I went to forums, workshops, whatever I could learn. I was also the vice president of my neighborhood association. I was also like block captain. So, and going to the mayor's forum. So, and that's how I learned a little bit about, you know, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? You know, what is it that is going to make me more involved with my community? And so, and that's where it led to the Metro Council. My first day on the council floor was really overwhelming. I mean, I was sitting there and I was like, oh wow, I'm here. And it was just like, okay, you know, calm down. So, and I got through that night, but it's been just sort of challenging.
Something that you never anticipated. It was much more than.
And, you know, and there are several stories because I didn't think I won at first. You know, I was telling the other person who was in the lecture with me, Pastor Stevenson, and I said, did you win or did I win? We wasn't sure. So I was congratulating him first, you know, and he said, well, why don't we wait? And then that's when I found out I actually won the race for District 17. So it, like I said, my first day was just like, oh, it was like, I'm really in council chambers and I'm really going to make, you know, decisions for the city as well as my district. So it was like, okay, I'm here, calm down, and you're going to be okay.
Now, the 17th District, now, where is that located, and how does that fit into the whole scheme?
Well, you know, I border on 3 other districts, which is Councilman Durbin, which is 18th District, and Council Lady Gilmore, which is 19th District. And it sort of borders like from the Edge Hill all the way back to Gale Lane, Hermitage Lane, Hermitage Avenue, the other part, Lafayette, Murfreesboro Road, those areas are part of my district.
Very good. And of course, we're getting ready, Councilperson Moore, for our first commercial break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we'll get into other aspects, but that's essentially what we wanted to find out in terms of what really motivated you to become involved in the Metropolitan Council, and to know that you might be, quote, a freshman in terms of being there now, that you've been involved in a large number of other things that eventually convinced you that you ought to run, and to your surprise, as you're admitting here, you were elected, and I think that because of that, you will probably be a very, very great council person simply because of that kind of element of surprise. And of course, let's take this first commercial break, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. An update of the Metropolitan